Namaste everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome back to Yoga with Reena. Today's session we are going to be working on relieving some very common things that we may be suffering from, particularly during these tough times. We're looking at hypertension today, we're looking at high blood pressure and stress. So trying today to get ourselves into nice poses and exercises that are going to help us relieve these issues. Very important to make sure that not just our body but our mind is also happy and healthy. And with yoga we're working both, so we want to make sure they work hand in hand. Before we begin, let's make sure we are in a safe surrounding, we've got enough space, we are even down to the clothing, everything's nice and comfortable, nothing's going to hinder our poses. Hopefully we're in a nice calm and quiet environment. We also want to make sure that our socks are off as well, so we're not slipping, and making sure that when we're doing our poses, we're not pushing ourselves to any pain or discomfort. We're being very careful in what we are doing. So before we begin, we're going to start in a standing position today. So to bring your legs together, bring your feet together and just roll your shoulders back and trying to stand as still as you can, and we're going to close our eyes. Okay, so just close your eyes for me, and the hand should be just loosely down at the side, not trying to hold anything up, but just loosely on the side, and just close your eyes for me and your mouths and be nice and calm and still. Nice exhales, and you'll find the more you are trying to be still, the more you'll feel yourself just moving slightly and gently and side to side. Maybe a little bit forward and back, but this is happening because our eyes are closed. So let's take a moment to just correct our posture, make sure our hips are not sticking out behind us, our backs of the neck and the base of the spine are nice and relaxed. And what we're going to do is we're going to touch our thumb and index finger together, just as we would do as if we were sitting down, and we're going to turn our palms to face the front. So we're going to take a nice inhale. Imagine you're breathing in all of the energies from your toes all the way up to the top of your head. Breathe in, and as you exhale, exhale any added tension, any thoughts that we don't need, any tightness in our body. Exhale it all out, right from the head out, down towards the toes. Everything out, send it all away. And let's just go for one more. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale out. And hopefully our feet are very close together, including your toes and your ankles and your heels. We're going to do a little bit of centering now, trying to make sure that the entire part of our foot is flat on the floor. So without opening the eyes, what we're going to do is, as we slightly exhale, we're just going to tilt a little bit forward and put the weight onto our toes, predominantly the big toe. Nothing in our spine or our neck or our head, anything is changing. And in fact, if somebody was watching you, they probably wouldn't be able to see much movement at all. And then as you exhale, I want you to come back slowly into the middle. And now really slowly, I want you to inhale and bring your weight into your heels. Now try and be careful that the toes don't come off. We've placed them on the floor. So rather than tilting your back, just shift your weight onto the heels. And then inhale back into the middle and exhale slightly out to your right hand side. And this doesn't require much of the body to move at all. And then inhale middle, and then exhale to your left side of your left foot. So we've kind of worked all four corners, and now we're going to work the center. So try and place the entire foot flat on the floor with your ankles and your toes all supporting each other. Just take a nice inhale and exhale. And very slowly just open our eyes and relax those hands. we're gonna start off with 2 Surya Namaskaras today. But as you can see, I'm not really moving as much because I'm trying to keep my body as still as I can for the first few poses that we're gonna do that require our balance. So in our sun salutations today, we're only doing 2. We're going to go really slowly. Really slowly, we're going to hold the breath. And if you just feel your heartbeat or your pulse just now, we want to make sure we're not aggravating it too much. Yeah, we want to make sure it's either like it is now or maybe just a little bit more activated. We don't want to bring ourselves to out of breath, because that's going to affect our remaining poses. So nice and calmly, if you're not already, just come towards the front, not too far, of your mat, and take a nice inhale, raise those arms, and exhale from your nose and bring those palms down in front of your chest, and keep your body nice and relaxed. Now each pose is going to be nice and slow. So we're going to inhale and we're going to raise our arms slowly up to the side of our head, push our hips out and lean back. Be very still, and nice and slowly we're going to come down. Now we're moving really slowly. Push your hips out, let your arms travel with the side of your ears, and we're just going to exhale and we're going to come down as low as we can without bending the knees. So remember, the aim is not to touch the floor if you can't. It's all about enjoying that stretch. Let your neck go. Bend your knees, and you can lift your head slightly and nice and calmly bring that left leg back. Push yourself into a nice deep lunge. Close the gap between the calf and the hamstring and stretch yourself all the way up. And then as you exhale, bring your head down, okay, and then take that knee off the floor. And remember, those hands shouldn't move from there now. So steadily, just bring that leg back, and we are working our core in Dandasana. Just keep your body nice and still. Place that knee and then the other onto the floor. Okay, being nice and steady with this, guys. Exhale, push your chest onto the ground without your stomach touching and elbows touching the side. So put all the weight onto the lungs with your hips off. You can relax those knees and the stomach now, and just push yourself slightly, so not too far, as we would normally bring our hips up to our hands, just slightly up, and inhale, lift and stretch those stomach muscles, come all the way back. And then as you exhale, we're just going to really slowly bring our head to face down, and we're going to try and get our feet flat. So this is Parvatasana, but we really want to make sure we're being careful. In hypertension and high BP, the head shouldn't be as low as we would normally go. So you can keep your head up slightly and really just feel the stretch in the calf. And then as you exhale, as you inhale, you can bring that leg in. The left leg went back, so it's the one that comes forward now. And we're going to lift our head all the way up. And we're going to exhale. I'm going to come down, bring that leg back in. You can keep your head slightly up here and raise those arms, okay, to the side of the head, and then the head moves up. And we're going to finish off with the second side. So inhale back. Exhale down. Inhale, right leg. I hope we're starting to observe which side of our body is stronger than the other as well, so we can really work both sides to equal. And exhale and back. Place those knees on the floor. And if you're feeling yourself getting out of breath, now's the time to make sure you're pushing a little bit more with your exhales, okay? Want to make sure that that is nice and calm. We shouldn't be getting out of breath as we're doing this. So exhale, chest and chin on the floor, and elbows tucked in, stomach off, nice big gap underneath, hips up, and relax the knees and the stomach. You can lift your head, you can slip your body forward slightly, inhale, and come up, look back, try and keep those heels together, guys. Exhale, looking forward and making sure that the head stays nice and high. Really feel that stretch in the back of the legs, okay? And then now we're going to bring our right leg in between our hands, Really stretch. Feel the weight on the ankles as we do this. And exhale, making sure we're keeping that head up, joining that leg, raising those arms. And we're going to inhale. And we're going to come down in Namaskar. Now just stay here for a moment. Okay, very important. Hopefully our feet are together. Hopefully we finished in the same position that we started on. So just keep that Namaskar there. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your body nice and still. Take a nice inhale and exhale, staying in the same position. And we are going to just open our eyes and stay looking nice and straight. So hopefully you're in a nice position to be looking straight. I'm just going to turn and face you so you can hear me and see me. So in our next posture, we're going to be doing Natarajasana. In between our poses, I'd ask that we try and be as still as we can. So if we don't need to, then try not to move around so much, because the more we move, the brain will get more and more activated, and it starts to wake itself up, and then it starts to think more. We actually want to slow down our blood pressure, yeah? So when we're focusing on trying to balance, then our mind doesn't have time to think about other things that it might normally be worried about. And these postures work much more effectively when your mind is steady and your body is steady. So very good idea to have your eyes looking at one dot or one tiny mark in front of you. We're going to move into Nataraj, which is the dancer pose, the Shiva dancer pose. And we're actually going to be doing this with our thumb and index finger touching. So this is our Chinmaya Mudra, and these practices, certain hand gestures, are very, very good for different things. So these are there to enhance your meditative state and also increase sort of calmness, reduce anxiety and things like that. So if you need to use a wall to do this, then by all means do so. You can just place your hand onto the wall on the side like this, or in front of you if you have a wall as well. But the main thing is, if we lose our balance, to not get aggravated or anything like that. We want to make sure we're keeping nice and calm. Okay, so we'll start with our right leg first, and we want to stay nice and slow. And firstly, take the left heel off and then the left toes. And remember, this is not about height, this is about stability. So provided that we are holding our posture nice and still, whenever you're ready to, you can start to lift the leg up. And then without bending forward, if you can try and hold on to your ankle, and then just let that leg relax into your hand. Okay, and then without turning your shoulders, yeah? So first things first, let's join the thumb and index finger together, okay, and turn it up to the ceiling, because our lungs work better and our energies are higher. And we're going to start to, as we raise our arm, we're going to start to lift, okay? Now I'm not overly stretching my body so that my hips turn out. I'm purely keeping my hips and shoulders in a nice straight manner, looking straight ahead. You can raise those arms and you can stretch your leg as high as you can, because the aim of this is not to push yourself as low down as you can. This is about keeping balance and being nice and steady. So keep that arm up, see if you can go really, really high. Okay, keep that chin up. 3 and 2 and 1, and nice and slowly as you exhale, keeping your eye on that mark, you are going to bring the arm down, and as you completely and fully exhale, you bring the opposite leg down. And just keep your eye on that dot, keep your drishti there, keep your eye line there. And you may have noticed that when you were doing it, you would have felt it a lot more on your lower spine and less so on your leg, because we were not bending forward, and that puts more pressure on the leg. We were actually trying to edge ourselves back. Okay, now let's try the other leg nice and slowly. Take a nice deep breath in, all the balance, and exhale any imbalance or anything like that, any thoughts, any tightness we don't need, and nice and slowly start to, as you inhale, lift the opposite heel, and then you want to lift that toe. Now, if you're like me and your left leg is a little bit harder to balance on, then only go by what you can do. It's not as if you have to complete the same on each side. Just try and do a similar posture, but it's about being still. Okay, shoulders and hips nice and still, picking up that leg, picking up that ankle. You can lock your knee, turn your left palm to face the front and join the thumb and index finger, and nice and slowly start to lift. Okay, and the aim is to go slow. We don't want to increase our speed, okay, and start to lift that leg. So you are edging back with your head, but your leg is coming up, and just slightly tilting our head up. Hold it there, 3 and 2 and 1, and we are going to exhale and slowly bring that arm down and slowly bring that leg down. Keep it joint. We need this for our next posture, and continue to stay looking nice and straight, okay, and being nice and still as well. When we're doing slow poses and we're holding the positions for longer, there actually can be more challenging because you can really feel where that energy is going. And right now I can feel that my ankles and my feet are very activated. They're very heated because they were holding up the entire body as I was doing so in our Natarajasana. So, you know, be a little bit mindful of these, yeah? Practices work much more effectively if we take a moment to experience and enjoy what's happening in the experience as well. Okay, so the next posture is Vrukshasana. So a few variations for this. We're going to work our knees a bit. So if you've got any knee pains or anything like that, I would recommend just keeping your legs straight. Okay, and we're going to keep one leg up for quite some time because we're going to be moving our hands and experimenting with those. So Vrukshasana is a tree pose. Okay, and we're going to very slowly, okay, lift that left leg. So we'll swap over again. So we'll give the balance on the right leg. So nice and slowly start to lift that left leg off, and then take that toes off as well. And if you want to stay in this position or this position with your toe on the floor behind you, by all means do so. We want to have that balance, okay? And try not to turn your hips as well as you do this. So whatever you're doing, be nice and steady, and never put the foot on the knee, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it out, and we're going to slowly start to pick it up. And if you need a wall, yeah, on one side, by all means do so, but try not to put the foot on the knee, okay? So you can put it on top, okay, of the perineum muscles. You can put it on your calf, on the side of that. And if your leg is slightly diagonal, try very slowly and push it out without turning your hips, okay? And straighten yourself out, because normally that might happen, yeah? So straighten yourself out and keep that leg there. And you can unlock that knee if it helps. And you can even widen the toes out a little bit. That also helps too. So we're going to nice and slowly raise those arms. And the faster we go, the more likely we are to lose our balance. So interlock your hands and stretch yourself up. Nice big smile. And very slowly just take a little bend. Okay, just a little bend to ease the pressure. Okay, off the thighs, and bring it a little bit more into your ankles. And nice and slowly we're going to exhale, but keep that leg there. And we're going to try, normally we do a namaskar in front, but what we're going to do is we're going to try and do a namaskar, yeah, Parivruta Namaskara. We're going to try and do a namaskar behind our backs, okay, behind our backs. So if I just show you, yeah, trying to just touch the palms together. And if you can't, just keep your hands nice and relaxed, or just middle finger to middle finger. We don't want to add tension where we don't need to, okay, because we want to hold the pose. And I'm sure our legs are feeling very hot and activated right now. So as you inhale, start to raise those arms up. And as you exhale, you can bring the arm and the leg down together. And let's straight away start the other side. Keep that exhale going, guys. I want to make sure those hands come all the way down as you're doing this. And let's start the other side. So heel up, breathing in, and exhale, breathing out, and tucking that leg all the way in, being steady in our poses. And if you need to, if that knee has come out, just bring it out slightly. Straighten yourself up, no hips sticking out, nice and slowly raising those arms all the way to the top, keeping your chins up, triceps at the side of your head. You can cross your thumbs to help you balance that balance those palms. And then as you exhale, keep that leg there, okay? sorry, join the hands back up and just take that little bend of the knee. Good. And then keep that chin up. And whenever you're ready, if you want to keep it bent, by all means keep it bent. If you want to straighten it, straighten it. And then slowly we're going to bring our hands out. And again, we're going to join the Namaskar behind. Okay, doing what we can to stretch up. Now hold the pose there. 3, 2, and 1. And really slowly breathing in and breathing out. And relaxing. And I'm sure those ankles are feeling very, very, very charged now. Okay, so let's give our ankles a little bit of a rest. So just calmly coming to a sitting position. Okay, you can use your hands and then just bring your legs out in front of you like this and just bring your legs in. So interlock your hands over your toes and keep your back nice and straight and sit up. Okay, so if you want to just do some nice light loosening, but by all means do so. We're not going to do any hitting today. Okay, I'm sure a few of you are relieved, but just nice and light. So when we are practicing for stress relief and hypertension and high blood pressure release, it's very important to hold poses where it requires you to use a little bit more balance, because it tends to ease it in that way. Okay, so I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. We're going to do Patangasana, but we're actually going to lift up slightly. So instead of over your toes, if I can ask you to look around, your feet and then just sit up nice and straight, and then just take your heels off the floor. So you're about 1 centimetre, off the floor, and you're just holding the pose, okay? So if you want to, you can close your eyes while you'll do this and see if you're still able to hold the pose, because doing something balanced with your eyes closed can be a bit tough. Or if you want to up the challenge, we can slowly start to lift the legs. And as you do so, you'll find you're rolling right on to the base of your spine. And this isn't about height or doing anything eccentric. It's about keeping the shoulders relaxed, keeping the neck nice and loose, and just enjoying the pose. Okay, and your spine is a little bit curved, but from the base, absolutely relaxed, because it needs to be to hold that pose up. And if you're shaking or anything, please bring those legs down and do it nice and calmly, as slowly as you can. Okay, feel that lovely stretch in the upper arms, in the shoulders, nice big smiles, and 3, and 2, and 1, and nice and slowly we are going to bring our legs down and we are going to relax. Okay, so we folded over a little bit and we're going to open up now. So keep those legs together, yeah, just as they were before, and bring both of your hands behind your back. We're going to open up the abdomen now, so keep your elbows in at the sides, at the back, and push your chest up and your head. And what we want to do is we want to take our head all the way back. You can bend your knees, bend your elbows slightly. Keep the mouth closed because it tends to open as we come up. So just lift your head and let it drop back. So under no circumstances should you be holding your head up. Let your neck do that for you. Open up that chest. Continue to push your chest forward. Enjoy that stretch in the legs as well. And hopefully, because we're leaning back, our spine has curved in a reverse. We don't want to be struggling and keeping our shoulders up. Yeah, so keep the shoulders up, down, and your head back. So hold it there, 3, and 2, and 1, and then nice and slowly we're going to bring our head down. Okay, and then we are just going to finish, okay, with exactly the same with our legs, but we're just gonna lie down with our legs like this. Okay, so nice and slowly, if you're comfortable with bringing your hands down at the side, okay, just your elbows down at the side, just exhale and let your head come back. Take a nice inhale here, and then as you exhale, I want you to join your knees together. Okay, bring your head slightly up. Okay, making sure that our spine is in a nice comfortable position. When we sit like this, the lower part of the spine is in a nice comfortable position. Okay, so you can separate your knees and separate your feet. Take a nice deep breath in One more time, push that chest out, let that head come back, and really just let that head fall into that neck. And nice and slowly bring that head all the way up, and now bring your chin right down to your chest. Okay, right down to your chest, guys. Everything else is exactly the same in the body. And then just going to lift our head and then our arms, and we're going to slowly sit up. We're going to come to a sitting position, and we're going to sit in a nice comfortable position, because we're going to finish with a pranayama now, okay, which is our breathing practices when we finishing with lowering the blood pressure, more so if it has been activated. So these few practices are very good for hypertension. We're going to go for one cycle of Anulom Vilom, or the Nadi Shuddhi, which is the nasal cleansing. So very, very good for your stress, for your calmness. It's also a very good practice to do before things like exams, you know, bring your body into nice regularity and calmness. So let's have a go at doing that, and then we'll finish with Brahmari, which is the fingers on the eyes very lightly to bring ourselves into a nice calm state. So sitting comfortably with your back straight, just roll your shoulders back and just turn your neck out to the side, head out to the side, and just give yourself a nice sort of massage on those shoulders. We've worked hard today, and hopefully we've relieved any tightness from our bodies and our minds, and we're going to finish with Nadi Shuddhi. So we'll just do one cycle before we begin. Please remember, when you're doing this, your breath should be so quiet that if imagining there was a feather underneath your nose, that shouldn't get disturbed. Spending more time on the exhales, obviously. Well, if not more, then at least equal, because sometimes we're not doing that enough. And trying to observe the heat coming out of the nostrils and the cold going in. So making sure that we're doing that as well. So let's take our right thumb and our fourth finger and elbows out slightly, and close your eyes and take a nice inhale calmly. Place your right thumb over your right nostril and exhale from your left. Take your time, try and do this as silently as you can. And then inhale from your left. Feel that cold air come into one nostril. Be careful, as slowly as you can. Close both with a light pinch. Lift your thumb and exhale from your right. So if you can hear yourself breathing, try and silence it, try and quieten it down. Keep that exhale, deflate the lungs completely, and inhale from your right. Inflate the lungs, cold coming in, and nice and lightly pinch, and release the fourth finger and exhale from your left. As slowly as you can, keep that exhale going. Keep exhaling. When we've finished, if you want to hit pause and do 2 more cycles or 3 more or 9 more or whatever you want to do, you're welcome to. But just in terms of time restraint, I want to make sure that we have done at least 1 cycle to slow everything down in our bodies, and we'll finish with Brahmari. So placing the last 2 fingers lightly on the eyelids, the thumbs just next to the ears, and the remaining 2 fingers on the forehead/eyebrows. Don't push onto the eyelids, but you'll be pushing into your ears and humming from the back of your throat 3 times. When I say inhale, close your ears and plug them, and feel the vibrations inside your body. Inhale. releasing those hands onto our knees, taking a few moments to just be still, nice light smile on our faces, enjoying that quietness in our body, in our mind, and remembering to try as much as we can to be as relaxed as we are now during the day, and remembering that we can't change the things around us, but we can always change our reaction to it. Join those palms in front of your chest, finishing with our mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let's all be happy. Let's all be healthy. Let's all see the good in others. May we all be without any illness or pain. And may we all have peace, peace and peace. So just relax your hands onto your knees. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe in all of the good. Exhale everything unnecessary. Lightly start to rub your palms. Get them nice and warm. And start to cup your eyes. Enjoy the pitch black with your eyelashes moving inside. And then with a nice inhale, loosen the grip, and with every blink, open those eyes wider and wider, and stretch yourself all the way up. And exhale, shoulders down, just rotate those shoulders. And finishing with a nice big stretch up, nice big namaskar to you all, to everything around us, and finishing with happy thoughts and happy words and happy hearts. Thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed the session today. I hope there's no room for any of the negativities that may have been before, and I hope you all stay happy and healthy. Namaste.